Arabic webinars. This lesson is about reading words at a stop or a pause. Objectives. We will try to understand how to pronounce words when you stop or pause when reading. A note here, this is actually a very complicated topic in higher levels of Tajweed, so we're only covering the bare essentials and some general rules. Okay, so the overall ruling, or the general rule, is whenever stopping on a word, the last letter in the word is read as sakin. So that's really a general rule. However, this normally applies when the last letter in the word carries, and then we've got a list of the characters that will be carried. So any letter which you're stopping on, any word you're stopping on, and the last letter in the word has a sukoon, then obviously that's going to be sakin anyway. However, if the last letter in the word carries either the dhammatain, the kasratain, the fatha, the kasra, or the dhamma, then all of those last letters when you're stopping will effectively be read as if they've got a sukoon on them. So that's the general rule. So let's look at some examples. So here we've got a word which is at the end of a sentence, and the last letter, the meme, already is sakin, so that will be pronounced as sakin as expected. So that would be abatum. Okay, there's no surprises there. Now if we start looking at all the other markings that can take place, we've got effectively the short vowels. So if you stop on any word which has either the fatha, kasra, or the dhamma on the last letter, then the last letter is going to be read as if it's sakin. So our first example here would be read as ma khalaq. Okay, because the qaf becomes sakin, that's one of the qalqala letters, so it becomes an echo. Then we have the second one with the kasra, so this would be read as bi rabbin nas. Okay, so that scene, which the scene that carries the kasra, will be read as if it's sakin. And the last one is Allahu Samad. Okay, so the dal that is carrying the dhamma becomes sakin, and because it's one of the qalqala letters, then it's read with an echo. And then for tanween, there's only two cases when it will become sakin, and that's with the dhammatain and the kasratain. So the first example here is ahad. So the dal again becomes sakin, you don't read the dhammatain and you get the echo. And the last one there is lahab, and again the ba, which is carrying the kasratain, becomes sakin and it effectively becomes an echo letter. So that's the general rule and the most common examples. The next one is if the word that you're stopping on ends with the ta marbuta, and effectively you change the ta marbuta into a ha sakin, and this is the soft ha from the bottom of the throat. So here we've got an example. The word here is al-qari'atu. So if you're stopping here, that ta marbuta at the end, effectively you read it as if it's a ha sakin. So this will be al-qari'ah, and you've got to just bring out a tiny bit of a ha sound from the bottom of your throat. Again, requires a lot of practice, and you need to sit with a reciter to get that exactly spot on. Now the next one is if you've got a long vowel which comes before the last letter in a word, and that last letter is being made sakin because you're going to stop on it. Now in that case, effectively you can read the long vowel either as 2 lengths long, which is normal, 4 lengths long, or 6 lengths long. Okay, so let's have a look at some examples. So here we've got the last word here, which is being read is nas. Okay, so we've got the long vowel fatha alif. However, the sin, because it carries the kasra, is going sakin because we're stopping. So that last fatha alif can be read as 2 long, 4 long, or 6 long. The only thing to be aware, if you choose to do these long vowels which can go 2, 4, or 6 long in a surah, you've got to be consistent. So if you do it 4 long, all of them have to be 4 long in your recitation of the surah. Okay, so that last one, few words would be Rabbin nas if it's too long, or you can stretch it to Rabbin nas 4 long, or Rabbin nas, okay, 6 long. So you can stretch it. It's all relative to how fast you read. Another example of that in the next one is we have the kasra ya, long vowel, and the meme is going sakin. So that azim can again be read 2, 4, or 6 long. So that could be azim, or azim, or azim. And the last one is the long vowel dhamma waw, and again followed by a noon which is going sakin. So that last one, kafirun, can be read as kafirun, or kafirun, or kafirun. Okay, and you can make it 2, 4, 6 long relative to how fast you read. Now, when stopping on the long vowel fatha alif, it is read as a fatha alif. Okay, and this also includes the fatha followed by the alif maqsura. So let's just see what we're talking about here. So at the end of the sentence here, we have a word which is zilzalaha. Okay, so it's ending with the fatha alif. So what we do here, we read the fatha alif just as it is. So if you're going to end here, it would be zilzalaha, and you just read it as 2 long as per normal. Now, because the alif maqsura effectively is an alif, i.e. it's an alif painted as a ya, when you have a letter with fatha followed by the alif maqsura, effectively it is a fatha alif, so you apply the same rule. So in this example we end by doing the fatha alif maqsura 2 long, so it would be saja.